the UN expressed alarm over the excessive force in the West Bank. What does that reveal about the situation on the ground, and should it prompt any international response?
Well, the UN did express concern. Many countries around the world have deplored Israel's behavior. However, it will never go beyond that because Israel enjoys complete immunity and impunity provided by the United States, whether the previous Biden administration or the current Trump administration. So, there is not a question that will have any different answers anytime soon. It will always have, it had the same answers for the past 70 years, and I think it will have the same answer for the next 70 years, unfortunately. However, with what's going on in the West Bank right now, the humanitarian situation in Jenin specifically is quite concerning because right now they are targeting the refugee camp with warplanes and with heavy equipment. And they have destroyed roads, they have destroyed homes, they have demolished homes using explosives, they have destroyed medical facilities and have vandalized hospitals and destroyed ambulances and fire trucks. So these are trends of behavior that we have seen before in Gaza. And that's why I told you it's a proto-Gaza operation what's going on in Jenin. So if they are testing the grounds and they are seeing whether they can actually expand this operation further in order to cause a massive humanitarian crisis inside the West Bank, with the goal maybe even of displacing the Palestinians from parts of the West Bank to other parts inside the West Bank or even beyond. And this is a very dangerous indication of what lies ahead and of what the Israelis are planning, Hani.
Dr. Osman, what are the implications of the increased settlement expansion on the prospects of peace in the West Bank? Is it only complicating it even more?
It will be to the complete detriment of the peace process. It will be detrimental for the peace process. It will be just another death sentence to the peace process. I think that the idea of settlement creates a permanent situation on the ground where the lands of the Palestinians are illegally acquired and de facto annexed, and the Palestinians are ethnically cleansed out of their own lands. Right now, around 25 to 30% of the lands in the territories of the West Bank have been acquired by Israeli settlers, and the expansion of settlements under the tutelage and the patronage of the Israeli government, the current government, of course, with U.S. support, it seems, is quite concerning, especially that the United States under Trump, one of his first executive orders was to lift sanctions on illegal settlers, several illegal settlers in the West Bank and in the occupied Palestinian territories. So this is a very dangerous indication. This means that they will expand the settlements further, and they will also keep gradually and slowly displacing Palestinians from their historical ancestral lands in the West Bank. So, of course, how can we speak of peace or a sustainable peace or a just peace or even any kind of peace with such a situation transpiring on the ground, Henny?
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the return of the freed Palestinian prisoners? Do you think it will shift the balance of power or tension in the West Bank?
No, not really. And probably they will rearrest them in a few months. So the short answer to that, Henny, because I don't think it will have any effect on that. Yes, some leaders of the Palestinian resistance, whether from Fatah or from other factions, were released in the last batch. Not all of them returned to the West Bank or Gaza even. Many of them were not even allowed back into Palestine, and they had to be deported from the Israeli prisons to Egypt, and now they will go to a third country, most likely in order to permanently settle there. They are not allowed back into the occupied territories by Israel's illegal occupation authority. So I don't think they will have any substantial effect. I know that people tend to exaggerate the effect and the impact of the release of many of the Palestinian prisoners. This brings us joy and happiness, of course, to see those people who spent decades, some of them decades in prison, due to them exercising their legitimate right to resisting illegal occupation, and this is provided to them and guaranteed to them by international law. However, at the same time, I do not see that this will have any substantial game-changing impact on the situation inside the West Bank or Gaza.